Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another So I've Been Reading. I'm the Rat, and this is the Rat's Nest. Today we have So I've Been Reading Hunter x Hunter, which I have been reading Hunter x Hunter. I've been reading Hunter x Hunter for a while. I am recording this the night before this video goes live, and I'm currently 2 volumes away from finishing it. I'm about to start on 35, honestly, probably later tonight. But the main reason I'm recording this video is to promote a series starting tomorrow on my other channel, Goobers and Screens, link in the description, where me and my friend Kyle, who's appeared on this channel multiple times in my Chainsaw Man and One Piece chapter reviews, where we talk about Hunter x Hunter. Basically what it was is I decided to read Hunter x Hunter, which is one of his favorite animes, and we just talk about it. It's a ton of fun. So in this video, this is just kind of laid back before I get into what So I've Been Reading is really going to be, because I have decided what I want it to be. Stick around for that. I know if you're watching this, you don't care whatsoever about that. But hey, if you do, good for you. So this is just my general thoughts on Hunter x Hunter. Overall, I really like it. I think it is an extremely solid series. It does not come close to One Piece in my mind, and One Piece is my favorite manga of all time. And so, I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily unfair to say. I just have much more of a connection to One Piece. But I really did enjoy Hunter x Hunter. I would definitely put it on a similar level of enjoyment as I feel with Jujutsu Kaisen or other series that I've read. I'd say I probably still like Chainsaw Man more than it, but Hunter x Hunter definitely has its moments. Hunter x Hunter it has a very good power system. I think Nen is an extremely strong power system to have. Stronger than, some other series is. Like, I would say it's a better power system than Haki from One Piece or Cursed Energy from Jujutsu Kaisen. And while I do like Cursed Energy and Nen are very similar, I do think Nen has a lot of points that kind of elevate it over that. Whereas with Cursed Energy, sometimes it can be confusing. It's like, okay, how does it do that? With Nen, it's relatively simple to understand. Like, okay, this is what's going on. Even if sometimes it can get complicated, like in the Crollo versus Hisoka fight. But overall, Nen is a great system, and I really like how it's utilized throughout the series. The arcs, my least favorite arc, and this is being so far, I guess I'm going to have to go with Dark Continent Expedition. Not because of anything that happened during it, but just because it was so short, being only 9 chapters, it's hard to compete. I don't, some people consider the Zoldyck Manor to be its own arc. I kind of lump it in with Heaven's Arena. It's kind of its own thing. If I did consider it its own thing, it would be my least favorite. But I love Heaven's Arena. After that would probably be York New. If you clicked off the video right now, yeah. I'm not a big York New guy. I guess I can see where people are coming from with it, and maybe if I went back and reread it or rewatched it, I would appreciate it more. But I don't know. I wasn't feeling it when I read it. I couldn't tell you exactly why. Maybe partially part of that was coming off of Heaven's Arena and the Gon versus Hisoka fight, which is my second favorite fight in the entire series up until Hisoka versus Crollo. It says a lot about Hisoka that my 2 favorite fights. I love Heaven's Arena. Hunter Exam is probably somewhere in the middle. I mean, it's an extremely solid arc. What can you say about Hunter's Exam? It's the introduction to the world, introduction to the characters, Heaven's Arena is the introduction to Nen. But we get to see a lot of cool stuff in Heaven's Arena. We get introduced to Gon, Killua, Kurapika, Leorio, all the main characters. I really enjoyed it. I think it's an extremely solid starting arc, and I think it's very cool that there's kind of like this established arc at the beginning of it, right? Whereas a lot of series will just kind of go here, there, here, kind of all around, and people have to post-mortemly lump it into all those different story threads in the one big arc. Thinking specifically of Bleach with the substitute arc, how it's like a bunch of little different stories all together in the one big arc. Heaven's Arena, I love Heaven's Arena. It's definitely closer to the top of my list. I put it above. So we have Dark Continent. So bottom up, Dark Continent, York New, Hunter Exam, Heaven's Arena. I loved Heaven's Arena. I thought the introduction to Nen was great. I thought that everything to do with that was great. Getting to see more of Hisoka at this point was also really cool. He, up until chairman election, he was my favorite character, and he's still my second favorite character. I love Hisoka very much. Getting to see, just like I said, the introduction to Nen was very good. And I like how it was kind of a fake out. Like, it's like, oh, you get to battle all the tower master, the floor master, and then you get the tower master. And then it was just like, yeah, we don't really care about that. I really enjoyed Heaven's Arena, and especially for being only 20 chapters. It definitely accomplished a lot in those 20 chapters. Obviously, I already talked about York New. Greed Island. I love Greed Island. I'm going to go ahead and tell you all that right now. It goes above Heaven's Arena in my list. Greed Island is absolutely phenomenal. I think it is a great Hunter x Hunter arc. Honestly, I'm going to say this, right? But put me on the record. All three people who are going to watch this video to this point. Put me on the record as saying Greed Island is like the gold standard for what a Hunter x Hunter arc should be. And I'll explain my thought process behind that later. I think Greed Island is the epitome of Hunter x Hunter arcs. Gon and Killua, just an absolutely amazing pair. I go on a huge tangent about that, I think, in the second part of Chimera Ant review that we do on Book Club. It's been a while since we recorded these. They're just all starting tomorrow. Getting to see them was just absolutely amazing. Gon and Killua are just such a good pair, and it was just a ton of fun. It was just a really fun arc. You had a ton of great character moments. Laser versus Hisoka, Gon and Killua. That was so much fun. That dodgeball game, dude, that's like Beetle Tendency from Jajillian. This is really fun. I really enjoyed this. We also get to see, Jajankin. Well, it's not called Jajankin yet, but we get Jajankin, and we get Killua's electricity. We don't see Godspeed yet, I don't think. That's Chimera Ant, but I love Greed Island. I think it's a great arc, and I don't understand the hate that it gets. I can't remember how long we talked about Greed Island for, 40, 50 minutes or so. It's just great. Moving on to Chimera Ant. Chimera Ant is my favorite Hunter x Hunter arc. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. That's easy. What can you say about Chimera Ant that hasn't already been said? Kyle and I talked about it for 5 hours. It's in 3 parts. I think it's 1.5, and then 2. It's a biggie. I loved Chimera Ant very much. It did not live up to the hype that other people set it up to be. People say it's one of the greatest arcs in fiction, and that's just not true in my opinion. I did really enjoy it, and I can kind of see where they're coming from, and that the themes and elements it presents are phenomenal and phenomenally well done. It just has stuff that holds it back. It's not so much that it doesn't reach the heights that people say it does. It's that it has stuff that pulls it back down. I know I had my criticisms of it in there. One of my big ones being the little octopus guy. I can't even remember his name. I did not like his inclusion in the arc. Knuckle. I enjoyed Knuckle enough. I think he was a cool enough character. I didn't care for his design so much. That's a very base complaint there. But personally, I think. I can understand the inspiration, but sometimes it was a bit too much. And there was specifically one scene with him and Yuppie at the end that I didn't care for. But yeah, if you're still here and you want to watch that, that'll be coming out. You can hear all my thoughts about it then. But Chimera Ant was absolutely phenomenal with the themes it presented. The Chimera Ants themselves, everything that happened, the Royal Guards. Meruem is, in my opinion, the best written character in Hunter x Hunter. And one of the best written characters I've ever read. I absolutely love Meruem and Komagi. Meruem versus Netero is my third favorite fight in Hunter x Hunter. It's just absolutely so good. Gon's moment where he gives up everything to beat Pito, that's just phenomenal. Yuppie and Poof's development is absolutely amazing. The raid on the palace is absolutely amazing. There's so much good in the Chimera Ant arc. But it does have a couple things that hold it back for me. And Kyle and I, we talk about all the good, too. There's a lot to say about Chimera Ant, and we say a lot about Chimera Ant. It's my favorite Hunter x Hunter arc by a lot. Next, we have Chairman Election. I do quite enjoy myself some Chairman Election arc, right? chairman election arc. It's fun. It's kind of the end of like it's where the anime ends off, at least as far as I remember. Kyle telling me. I haven't seen the anime myself. But it is kind of the end. It's the last one where we have Gon and Killua being major players, because we just don't have that in Dark Continent or Secession Contest. At least as far as I've read. I couldn't tell you any more than that, but it's a good arc getting to see Killua, and this is where he comes into his own as, in my opinion, the second best written character in Hunter x Hunter, right after Meruem. Alaka, I think their relationship and dynamic is great. I think everything presented as well. This is where we get introduced to my new favorite character, Pariston. I love Pariston very, very much. He's my favorite character by a long shot. Sorry, Hisoka, but Pariston is just absolutely amazing. And, oh man, I'm so glad that we got to see him again in Dark Continent Expedition. And, what you call it, yeah. But chairman election, I thought it was great. I thought the ending was great. Pariston being like, okay, as the first order of chairman, Cheadle's my vice chairman, and I resign. Bye-bye. That's good. That was just so good, man. What you call it? That was absolutely great. I really enjoyed it. I would probably put it under Greed Island, above Heaven's Arena in terms of enjoyment. It was a really solid arc. I really enjoyed it. The reason I say Greed Island is, well, I'll get to that. Then Dark Continent Expedition, it's good. It has good stuff. It's just so short that it's like, I really can't put it any higher than York New, because however much, I didn't dislike York New. I would feel, it doesn't feel right putting York New below Dark Continent Expedition. And then we have Secession Contest, which I am really liking so far. I would probably put it around the same level as Hunter Exam on my list. Maybe above, maybe below. We just don't know how it's going to end. So I still have stuff to read. The reason I say Greed Island is like the standard for Hunter x Hunter arcs is because my friend Kyle he described Chimerian as like a not a Hunter x Hunter arc set in the Hunter x Hunter world, and that just feels like right, And then like for what Hunter x Hunter is, or at least used to be, Greed Island is definitely like that. Now, Hunter x Hunter is not like what it used to be. Dark Continent Expedition and Secession Contest have a much different feel from anything that came before it. Chimerian was its own entity. So that's why I say Greed Island, even though it's just my second favorite arc, right? It's the golden standard of like Hunter x Hunter arcs is. Like when I think Hunter x Hunter, I'm going to remember Greed Island and everything that happened there. But that's me personally. That's my thoughts. So I've been reading Hunter x Hunter, you could say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're still this far in the video, obviously there's something you like. So be sure to like and subscribe, and maybe go down to the description, go over to Goobers and Screens, and look forward to Hunter x Hunter Book Club dropping tomorrow, or if you're watching this after this for whatever reason, episode 1 and maybe more should already be out. And so, if you enjoyed this video and you go check that out, I certainly hope you enjoy that as well. And I suppose I will see you all the next time. This week we have Chainsaw Man and One Piece is back, so we'll have that. And then maybe a little more So I've Been Reading, because that's going to become like my main series. That's right, I did say. So if you're this far in the video, right, then you can just skip to the end if you don't want to hear that. I'm going to talk about So I've Been Reading. So I've Been Reading is a series that I'm going to be starting, and I already started it with Bleach. And that was just kind of to get a video out on Wednesday. And I was like, well, So I've Been Reading Bleach. I was like, oh, I can turn that into a series. It's essentially going to be book club, but like solo book club. I can go ahead and tell you my plans if you're this far in the video. Thank you for watching. This is your reward. I'm going to be doing Kaiju number 8, which I've already read the first third of, and I will probably be recording that either tonight or tomorrow night. I'll be reading that. That'll be three So I've Been Readings, and then I might do weekly shorts, or like every month or so make a video on that. And then after that, it's going to be a secret. No, I'm going to do Dragon Ball. I'm going to read through Dragon Ball. And that's going to become a channel staple, I feel, because that's going to be at least one video a week on So I've Been Reading Dragon Ball, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've become very much a shonen guy recently. I started this channel off initially going to be like, hey, I'm going to do reviews over the manga volumes I read and light novels I read, and I just haven't been reading them that much. I've really been getting into shonen and shonen manga. And And so I've been reading is my series to get through that. So Bleach and this Hunter x Hunter are kind of the odd ones out as to what this series is going to be. Anyways, if you're still here, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.